Mwah. What's up, YouTube? Poor Man Podcast back with another video. Today's video is going to be Battle of the Sexes, Sluts versus Studs by Steve Harvey. All right, before I get into the video, though, I got to do the YouTube stuff. The goal is 20,000 subscribers by June. Actually, I think, hold on. I think I might be at, the goal is 25,000 subscribers by June. All right, it's a crazy goal, it's a big goal, but it's my goal, all right? And the only way I'm going to get to my goal is if you give me the HBO special. Do you know what the HBO special is? That's the Help a Brother Out special, all right? So go on and help a brother out. Hit the like and the subscribe button for more content. I'm going to give y'all a second to do that. All right, now let's get to it. Battle of the Sexes, Sluts versus Studs. Steve Harvey, let's see what it is.
The first double standard is about sex. Traditionally, a woman who sleeps around is a slut, but a man who sleeps around is a stud. We polled the audience to see if they think that we're closing the gender gap on this in 2015. Well, we'll see those results in a moment. But first, let's take it to the panel. Curtis, what's your take on this?
I have to strongly agree with this double standard, Steve. Men, I feel, want to pursue their woman. You know, they want that challenge. They want that special feeling that they get from that woman. I myself, I'm married. I had to pursue my wife. And I had to work, you know, to get to that point with her.
Yeah.
You know, I had to work to get there. And I respected that, and I valued that, and I appreciated that. But not only did I have to work with her, I had to prove it to her family. So that was very important to me. And besides, if there's a woman out there that's been with 20, 30 guys, you're not coming home to meet my mom.
Couldn't have said it better. Okay, just to get into that a little bit, what women don't understand is for men, it takes skill, okay? A girl could go into her cell phone and call she could call everybody in there, and 90% of the people are gonna say, yes, I am willing. If she just said, without any game at all, would you like to have sex? Or, I'm home alone, do you wanna have sex? Just be over here in the next hour and we can have sex. 90% of those guys are gonna be over there, okay? 90% of the guys are gonna show up and accept the offer to have sex. All right, a man could go into his phone and call every female contact in there and ask that same question. You'll get one response of a person that might have liked you a little bit in high school that you kind of kept distant because you knew they liked you, but you didn't like them back, and they still have that crush on them. You know what I mean? Maybe he'll pick off one of those guys. But for most guys, it takes skill. And it's a skill that is respected amongst men and women. Women like when men have this skill. But it takes skill to be able to talk to a woman, you know what I mean, make her feel a certain kind of way to the point where she feels like giving you that gift. It takes a certain kind of skill. For ladies, it's just lazy. All right, it shows a lack of discipline. Let's continue the video.
Catherine, you're in your 20s. What's your take?
It is ridiculous that we are still debating this. It is 2015, and we are sexual creatures, and unfortunately, I'm sorry, but women like sex, okay? Now, I have had sex with, drum roll, 20 people, and, and I own that. I own that. That is my experience. Who are you? Who are you to tell me that I don't respect myself because of what I've done with my sex?
Well, I never said that I don't respect you. You won't meet my mother.
It's that simple.
You know what? I don't want to be your mom then.
It's that simple. Okay, it's that simple. And what people don't understand, yes, everybody is sexual. Humans love sex. That's no surprise. Trust me, humans love sex. But what it's about, because there's a lot of things that humans love. Like humans love food, okay? And that's why being overweight is unattractive, because that's one of the reasons. It's because it shows a lack of discipline, okay? Being able to just indulge in everything that's just because it's good is not how the world works. Men show their discipline by taking care of their bodies, by being able to get up and go to work, by being able to be repetitive, to have a great routine. Those are ways that men show discipline. Women show discipline through their sexuality. If you show that you have no sexual discipline, men won't want to be around you because that means you're impulsive. And if you're impulsive, that means you'll cheat. And if you'll cheat, that means my child, my legacy, the person I'm doing all this work for may not be mine, because DNA tests are not mandatory in America. That is why it is frowned upon for women to have sex with multiple partners, with sex with just anybody. Let's continue the video.
Look, I think in 2015, guy or girl, you have sex with a lot of partners, you're gonna get called a slut. I have friends that have a lot of sex, and I call them man sluts. I have friends that don't have a lot of sex, they're not man sluts, whatever you want to say, you know? But, you know, when it goes to meeting a girl, have a conversation with her about sexual past and stuff like that, I don't dwell as much on that. I judge them more for who the person is. You know, the sexual, right?
That's different.
I have to say,
Bro,
these sexual choices and decisions, they impact your future, and it goes both ways. Men or women who sleep around, that's just a lack of respect on both parts. And we need to rise up and set a better standard for both genders.
Okay, what were you saying?
If you want the man to respect you, I mean, all women are, oh, I want him to respect me, I want him to do this. Well, then you need to respect yourself and show yourself.
I do respect myself.
Respect yourself.
I'm sexually active. I respect myself.
And it's not just about respect, it's about love. Did you love all those guys you slept with?
No.
Exactly.
I just wanted to get down.
And notice that both of the women who are saying that they'll just have sex with anybody who they're attracted to, they're both overweight because there's a pattern when it comes to indulgence. When you get used to indulging in things just because they're good, there's a pattern that shows, okay? And their pattern is they're both overweight. And this is a problem that we're seeing, though. With the lack of discipline, it consumes your life when you have a lack of discipline. It isn't just a one-facet thing a lot of the times. A lot of times it seeps into other avenues. But let's continue the video.
No, what does that have to do with it?
I just wanted to get down.
What love got to do with it?
Because sex is and should be an expression of the highest form of love, and that's what society has done, is devalue something so beautiful, something that's so sacred.
Okay, for instance, you know, I had a buddy at one time who married a woman who was very promiscuous. And not only was she promiscuous with just about everybody in the neighborhood, and he knew this. This was a major problem for him when they would have a football game over at the house, and you have these 4 or 5 guys that slept with your wife. Yeah. You know, in a bed, you know.
That's a problem
so
because
this eventually killed the marriage. So I don't want someone that's been around with everybody.
That was that marriage then. But you know, the fact that
And I'm telling you, before she gets into her spill, okay, as soon as this lady, the white lady in the front, the first lady to go, you could tell she tried to get the audience behind her. Yeah, you know, female power, go have sex with who you want. That's women empowerment. You could tell that she kind of came on with that energy and that kind of excitement. But as soon as she said that she had 20 partners, if you haven't noticed, all of the men, including Steve Harvey, looked at each other and laughed, because that's exactly what it is to men. It is laughable. Okay, it is not acceptable amongst men, and women thinking that it's acceptable is going to be ultimately their downfall, because they're living in a world of what it should be. Men should accept women who have multiple partners, who can't control their sexuality, but it's not that way amongst men. We don't ever, and I don't think we ever will, see eye to eye with that one. I don't think that'll ever be acceptable amongst men. But let's continue.
that I've had this sexual history that I have makes me able to know what kind of sex I want now. The sex that I have now is great because I've had some pretty bad sex before, and because I've experienced that, I know what I want when it comes to sex. And you know what? You want somebody who knows what they want out of sex, because when they don't know what they want, then they're not going to say no when they want to, which is really important.
You know what?
Super important.
Go ahead.
You know what about that? I want that, but I don't want to know. I don't want to know that you slept around and did this, and this with everybody.
I am just telling you, for your own movement in the future, if you have had so many partners that number has crept into the double digits, when you meet the guy that you really love, don't bring that up. I am telling you, like he said, they don't want to know. It's just something that you have to consider. So where does the audience stand on this? 62% of the women said yes, the gender gap is closing, and 32% of the men say the same thing. So women think it's being more and more acceptable. Men don't really feel that way. That double standard is going to be around for a long time, because at the end of the day, the ultimate goal of most men is to take you home to their mother. Is it fair? No. Is it the way it is? Yes. Hey, folks.
Okay, so I'm just gonna give a few of my final thoughts on the video. That's into the video, of course. But women don't understand that. Yes, the whole slut versus he's just a stud. Okay, in this case, argument is justified. It's a double standard, but it's a justifiable double standard. All right, there are justifiable double standards, and there are standards that are not justifiable. Okay, why is this a justifiable double standard? Okay, like I said before, not only does it show that you are willing to indulge in everything, okay, so you have no self-control, which shows that you're less likely to be successful. It shows that you're more likely to have sex outside of our marriage. It shows that you're more likely to have a child that isn't mine and then pin the child on me. There are 5% of men in America that are raising children that are not theirs. All right, I believe the statistic is anywhere between 4 to 5% of men in America are raising children that aren't theirs, and they think that they are theirs. All right, so the double standard not only does it show impulsiveness, okay, if you're a woman, because women, it doesn't take any skill. So that's why it only shows impulsiveness if you're a woman. Men cannot overindulge for the most part in sex. If they can overindulge, it's because they've earned the right to, and that means they usually have a lot of money. Okay, maybe there's a guy that's really good looking. All right, but for the most part, that's usually not the case. Okay, usually he's had to earn his way there, and it's more respected because it takes work and effort. Okay, that's why it doesn't appear to be indulgence when it's a man having sex with multiple women. And to add more to the whole double standard and why it is a justifiable double standard is women have the risk of becoming a single mother. Okay, unfortunately, we didn't make this up. Okay, I'm not the one making up the rules. Talk to Mother Nature. She's a woman. She'll tell you why she laid that burden on women. I have no idea why, but women have a thing called pregnancy. All right, and when you sleep with men who you have no history with, men who don't care about you, men who just want to have sex, you're running the risk of that man walking out, and the chances are much higher of that man walking out if he has no commitment to you. All right, so where does single motherhood lead you? You're the poorest demographic in America. Well, that's for starters. Less likely to finish high school if you're a single mother. No big deal. All right. Not only that, but you're putting your child at statistical risk. All right. And this isn't just us making this up. These are just statistics. You've damn near killed your future dating prospects. You threw them all out of the window because you wanted to indulge in impulsive sex. Wed before you bed. All right, wed before you bed. That's how you stop that problem. Single motherhood is killing this country, and it's because women are preaching to other women that it's some kind of outrageous double standard that they can't have sex with any man that DMs them. All right. So what is another unjustifiable double standard? Or what's another justifiable double standard? Women get into the club for free. Okay, that's a justifiable double standard that men have to put up with. We don't care though because we understand it. All right, the theory is, which is currently being debunked because men are not going to clubs anymore because of this. But the theory is, if you bring and you fill the club up with women, men will pay a premium to get in because there are women there. That's the theory. Okay, so we get it. It's a justifiable double standard. What isn't a justifiable double standard, though, is the fact that if I'm on the side of the road with a flat tire as a man, I believe the chances are 500% more likely that someone will stop for a female with a flat tire on the side of the road over a male on the side of the road with a flat tire. Okay, and this is unjustifiable because what's to say that a man has to know how to fix a tire? It's just expected in our society. And this is a double standard that men put up with, but it's fine. All right. There will always be these double standards. What the problem is, women want to act non-traditional, but want men to still be traditional with them. So they want to be able to go out and have sex and have babies with anybody they want and then expect men to be stepfathers. Men who are trying to build their own legacy, men who have worked hard in their 20s to become stepfathers. All right. And that will never happen. It will never be acceptable amongst men for a woman that you're dating to be promiscuous. It's just never going to be the case. You can fight, you can scream, you can do whatever you want. You can riot, you can hold signs up in the middle of the street. No one cares. That will never be a thing. Till next time.